The Ellen DeGeneres Show has faced a wave of renewed scrutiny, and D.L. Hughley is among the voices weighing in on the entertainment industry's culture. The American actor and comedian has long been an outspoken figure in Hollywood, and recently he shared his thoughts on how young artists can be affected by that world, and on the people who stayed silent about problems they witnessed.
When I see those things, I never was shocked about it. I never, like, it just, I could sense a thing. If you are now telling us all these things you witnessed, then now you want to witness, you're an accomplice.
When most people watched the Ellen DeGeneres Show, they saw heartwarming moments featuring talented kids. Time after time, children who had gone viral on YouTube or social media would appear on Ellen's stage, and almost overnight their lives would change. One appearance could launch them into instant fame. But today, many people are asking whether that approach was always the healthiest one for a child. Critics have argued that bringing kids straight from the internet into the middle of Hollywood deserved more care and oversight than it sometimes received. One name that often comes up in these conversations is Diddy, who appeared on the show multiple times over the years. After the allegations against him became public, many viewers say they now watch those old clips with very different eyes.
Why is no one talking about the deeply disturbing clips from the Ellen DeGeneres Show on the new P. Diddy documentary?
How much money do you have on you right now?
I don't have any money on me.
You don't carry money on you?
No.
No.
I don't carry money. I mean, it's just a bit of money on me.
Oh, you do have money on you. Lord have mercy. It's all 20s. Where are you going after this?
You know we doing what we plan to do, girl.
I had forgotten just how chummy these two used to be. He was always on her show, and they were known to be friends. She even used to have quite the nickname for him, Cuddle Mix Snuggle Stuff. I believe there were only about 2 clips of her used during the P. Diddy docu-series on Netflix, which if you haven't watched, go watch it. But each time, my blood ran cold with knowing everything that we know about him, and now her now. And you can't tell me for 1 minute that this man was not purposeful in the clips that he used of the Ellen DeGeneres Show. I don't know who on his team found them or if he had just saved them for later, but wow.
After Diddy's arrest, some viewers noted that Ellen did not publicly comment on the allegations, despite having described him as a friend and hosted him several times. One of the more talked about stories connected to the show involves someone Ellen once called her own discovery. Back in 2010, a young singer named Greyson Chance performed Lady Gaga's Paparazzi, and the video exploded across YouTube. Ellen was so impressed that she didn't just invite him on the show, she took a direct interest in his career.
So inspired by one of the children who she had seen on YouTube, whom she had invited onto her show, named Greyson Chance. Because she was so inspired by Greyson Chance, she started a record label that she named 1111. Greyson Chance was the first person signed to her. From the outside looking in, this looked like a match made in heaven. This boy had been scouted from YouTube and caught the attention of Ellen DeGeneres, and she started a record label just for him and was going to propel his career. But in reality, Greyson Chance would come out years later and share that in reality, his time working with Ellen was nothing less than traumatic. Greyson has described Ellen as manipulative and opportunistic. Greyson has also shared that he believed that Ellen wanted him to be her Justin Bieber. Ellen discovered Greyson on YouTube, similar how to Justin Bieber had been discovered. Greyson had the kind of Justin Bieber haircut when he was discovered. Both young male vocalists. Justin Bieber was scouted very young, just like Greyson. Ellen thought she found her cash cow when it came to Greyson Chance. She thought she was going to be the one responsible for finding and propelling the next Justin Bieber in the music industry. Greyson has said that Ellen was extremely controlling of every aspect of his career while he was working with her. Ellen did not have the experience, the knowledge, or the know-how on how to propel a child into the music industry on the same level as someone like Justin Bieber. After the release of Greyson's second album and the album underperformed, Greyson has reported that Ellen completely ghosted him. She would not answer the phone. She wouldn't reach out to him. She did not want to work with him at all. She just ghosted him. Grayson would later return to The Ellen Show in 2019, which he describes as a very awkward and staged encounter. Around the time when Grayson had decided to speak up and come forward about his experience working with Ellen.
But years later, Greyson Chance himself would speak publicly, and he made clear he was not happy with how that relationship played out.
But Grayson says once he signed on to her record company, Ellen became, quote, domineering and way too, quote, controlling, claiming she wanted him to emulate Justin Bieber. And that behavior came to light when she allegedly gave him a screener of Bieber's Never Say Never documentary. Grayson says he didn't immediately watch it and claims Ellen called his mother and berated her for it. And once his album and ticket sales dropped, he also alleges the comedian completely, quote, removed and abandoned herself from him. But despite their fallout, Grayson continued to appear on Ellen over the years.
And when your eyes catch my eye, and I know I talk too much, so give me your two lips, and baby, I'll shut up.
He recalls during that 2019 appearance, Ellen praised Grayson for coming out as gay 2 years prior on her show.
I really wanted to make sure that it didn't seem like I was trying to profit or, sort of promote my sexuality as a means of getting more fame and popularity. And so I just, I waited until I felt confident and posted up an Instagram message and felt like that was the right thing to do.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I read it, it was really beautiful. And I think we all were so happy to see that you were happy.
But to Grayson, the moment felt, quote, cheap. Quote, she had nothing to do with that. When I came out, I hadn't spoken to her in years. That's so messed up that you're now showing the world as if we're so tight, we're so good. And behind the scenes, you are this insanely manipulative person. E.T. has reached out to Ellen for comment.
The truth is what you saw on TV and what was sort of pitched out, to the mainstream just wasn't what was happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, Grayson dropped this TikTok doubling down on all his claims.
I think now that I'm 25 and I'm older, I can recognize that what happened to me as a kid was not cool, it was not okay. And I'm sure people will have a lot to say about the article and how I maybe appear ungrateful for her efforts in the beginning. And the truth is that I am grateful for her giving me a start, but I'm more grateful to myself for the moments when I got dropped and everything went awry when I was a kid.
Around the same time Grayson shared his account, former employees of the show also began speaking out. What started as a few voices grew into dozens of former staff members describing their experiences.
Dozens of former employees had stories to share about how terribly Ellen treated them. Some of the things that these employees reported was that they were not allowed to look Ellen in the eye at all. We're not allowed to speak to Ellen unless she spoke to you first. And Ellen allegedly made her staff members go home and take a shower if they were wearing a perfume or a cologne that she did not like. Staff members were allegedly subjected to frequent outbursts and emotional irregularity from Ellen. Former employee even reporting that they were verbally berated by Ellen for simply saying good afternoon to her while passing in the hallways backstage. A former employee who used to work for Warner Brothers also reported that he had a less than pleasant experience with Ellen whenever they were both in the elevator one day and he asked Ellen what floor she wanted to go on, and Ellen responded the third floor. And Andrew later got a call from his boss that his job was being terminated because he verbally harassed Ellen in the elevator for asking what floor she wanted. I think the overall consensus from so many employees was that Ellen really harbored a toxic work environment. Ellen's happy, generous, and loving character would slip away as soon as the cameras cut. All of these situations that these former employees are recounting, I think it makes it really clear that the Ellen that we grew up watching and loving is really nothing more than a fictional character. Multiple reports of discrimination and blatant racism went unchecked and reports were brushed under the rug. Warner Media had to open up an investigation into the Ellen Show because of just how many complaints were being received surrounding poor treatment, inhumane treatment, discrimination, etc., etc. Many speculate that the Ellen Show ended due to the uncertainty of the entertainment industry during the pandemic. I think it's more realistic that the show likely ended because this investigation yielded that all of these employees were not lying and things were probably shut down. It was not worth the liability or the risk to Warner Media. As her former employees began to speak up and their voices started to become amplified, people on the internet began to share their experiences that they had had with Ellen DeGeneres, that they had been afraid to share before because of how loved she is by the public.
This is where D.L. Hughley's commentary comes in. It's widely known that Diddy and Ellen were friends and that he was a repeat guest. Hughley has said he was never personally comfortable around Diddy. And, without claiming inside knowledge, he's raised a broader point about people in the industry who, in his view, stayed quiet about things they witnessed because it benefited them at the time.
I have no doubt that some of these things, as alleged, are true.
Well, we saw the video, right? 'Cause
Yes.
since last time,
Yes.
the Intercontinental Cassie video came out.
Right.
Which anyone that was on Diddy's side and was saying this is a money grab, when they saw that, they said, never mind. Never mind.
I never liked him.
Have you met him before?
Never did. I
never met him?
I met him a bunch of times, but I never liked him.
Why?
I just didn't. It felt like when I see those things, I never was shocked about it. I never, like, it just, I could sense a thing. Like, I don't know what it was. But I will say that all those people who are now coming out and talk about these monstrous things he did are only saying it now when but they were fine with it when they were benefiting from it. Their silence benefited them from. If you are now telling us all these things you witnessed, then now you want to witness, you're an accomplice. And I think it's weird that a dude, like, you would think that a dude who'd been in that many videos would know when a new one was coming out. Like, you think.
Well, he bought that video for $50,000.
Yeah. Well, but you know how this works.
Yeah.
You know how this works. You knew, like, he been Puffy, Diddy, Puff Daddy. In my experience, any nigga changed his name that many times has done a lot of shit wrong. Where I'm from, we call it an alias. Is that you? No, not no more. That was me last album. But you know what happened to me? That was the last. Everybody in the 90s had been the product of the 70s and 80s and all that wild shit that was going on then. So that was the last vestige of those people who just got to do it. But all those people went to all those parties are now having lawyers explain and what they saw and why they were there. Like, it just wasn't my thing. It just wasn't where I wanted to be. But I'm not shocked about the allegations at all.
Well, yeah, I interviewed Roger Bonds, who was the head of his security for 10 years. And he did witness multiple situations with, when he beat Cassie, which he had to break them up
Right.
and, kind of put her, in a different place and so forth.
Singer Jaguar Wright has similarly argued in her own public commentary that exploitative behavior has long existed within the music industry, and that young artists can be the ones who get hurt in the process. These are her characterizations and opinions.
And now, Jag, you spoke on Piers Morgan saying that you used to be in this world, of the sex worker world, and you've seen kind of the depravity that the human mind could go to.
You want to know one of the reasons why I was able to put myself in position to get the deal that I got?
Yeah.
Because of my sex work. See, I had just enough dirt on the right person to get me past Hank Hughley, who was blocking me to protect Mary J. Blige's very fragile image.
So let me ask.
Listen to me.
Please.
Prostitute and actress meant the same thing in 1865. If you were called an actress, that meant you were a prostitute. See, it's the evolution of the fuck shit.
Yeah.
Look at Young Miami. Look at that girl. Diddy brought me to my womanhood. Diddy, and I just said, baby, you need to work this out. You need to figure this out. Has everyone now that she's being named in these lawsuits now figured out that this bitch is a fucking acting ass liar?
Yeah, I'm still
Drea Kelly talking.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on her saying I like to get peed on and,
And that's supposed to be normal.
Yeah, to normalize it.
Wright has also made a number of claims in interviews about what she says she saw during her time in the industry, including material she alleges circulated privately. It's worth noting these are her personal allegations, not established or verified facts, and the people she names have not been shown to have done what she describes.
What if the entertainment industry is nothing but a cover for a worldwide sex ring?
Because we was talking about this the other day, and I asked you, what is the music industry? I said, what is the birthplace of it? And you told me how it started with the Italians and the Jews.
And the Jews, yeah.
Can you just get, for people who don't know, because I've always thought black people started music, just me.
Well, the thing is we did. We were the culture. The Jews and the Italians monetized it and started setting prices. That's why Clarence Avant was so important to the black community in entertainment. Because he was the go-between for the talent to the powers that be. He understood what their objective was and he knew what his people needed, and he created that balance, which is why Clive Davis hated him so much. They ran into Dapper Dan in Harlem and they asked him what he thought about what was going on with Diddy and if he knew Diddy. And I love Dapper Dan for this. He said, I grew up with his parents. I knew his parents. He said, and what's going on with him has been going on long before him. Now, his father was a government snitch and a bad actor in the criminal world altogether. The woman that they're saying is his mother was a prostitute and a whore. But there's whispers in the streets of Harlem that Diddy's mother isn't alive, not his biological mother, that woman is his aunt.
Whoa.
There are whispers.
Wait a minute.
There are whispers. Diddy's story is so convoluted, but nobody really likes talking about who he was before he became Puffy. Nobody, I would love if I could be granted an interview with him. To interview Diddy now in his most raw state about his life up until the age of 15 only.
Gee.
We gotta learn how to stop making Diddies. What made him?
Bringing it back to Ellen specifically, the criticism didn't come only from former guests. People who worked alongside her have described a work atmosphere that differed sharply from her on-screen persona. Combined with some uncomfortable on-air interview moments, this is why many viewers began re-examining her legacy. One person who spoke out was DJ Tony, the show's longtime DJ before Steven Twitch Boss. Tony publicly said he felt the toxicity of the environment and stood with former colleagues seeking a healthier workplace.
Guys, Ellen's DJ is exposing her, and this is not good, guys. Hey guys, it's Murad Murali. Hope you guys are doing well today. Back at again with another video. If you haven't subscribed, click that button, guys, and subscribe. Head over to my Instagram. And it's going to be, I said it was a Super Tuesday yesterday because I was producing so many videos. We're going to get the same thing again today. It's going to be a Super Wednesday, guys. There's a lot going on and we got to get into it. But before we do, I do have a new podcast episode out. The links are below. Please go and subscribe to my podcast. I'm trying to push that now because I haven't for a while. So please go and subscribe to that. Head over to my Instagram at Murad_Muradi. follow there, like pictures, whatever, and let's get into this, guys. Let's get crunk when it comes to this, because we have now more people that are coming forward in numbers. So these stupid celebrities that try to defend Ellen, just shut up, man. Just close your mouths, please. Celebrities, I'm tired. I'm honestly just like, why are you here? The Ellen Show's former DJ, Tony, has said that he felt a massive amount of toxicity in the working environment during his time on the chat show. His comments come after it was announced last week that the show will be the subject of an internal investigation by former and current staff members. DJ Tony, he was the show's resident DJ between 2003 and 2006, and again from 2007 to 2013, shared a photo of himself on the show on Instagram and revealed that he had been getting calls asking him about his experience on the show, saying that he would like to address the time I spent there. While I'm grateful for the opportunity it afforded me, I did experience and feel the toxicity of the environment, and I stand with my former colleagues in their quest to create a healthier and more inclusive workspace as the show moves forward. A number of current and former staff members claimed to BuzzFeed in July that they experienced racism, intimidation, and a general toxic work culture whilst working on the show. Some alleged that they were fired for taking medical or bereavement leave, whilst one black woman who worked on the show said that she experienced racist comments and microaggressions. Producers have denied all of this, as of course they would have, but for DJ Tony now to come forward as somebody else who was also there, I'm glad that what he said that really resonated with me is that he stands firmly with the people who want fairness and inclusiveness. This is what he stands for, and this is who he stands with. Not these dumbass celebrities who are supporting Ellen, showcasing that they don't obviously stand with the people who are trying to seek justice, trying to seek, this kind of bad, negative, toxic workplace that they don't work in. You are a celebrity. There's no reason for Ellen or her people to be rude to you because you have a high profile status. For some unknown reason, you are better than some people else because of your celebrity status.
Another moment that keeps resurfacing involves Taylor Swift. During one segment, Ellen played a game pressing Taylor to identify men she'd reportedly been linked to. Taylor appeared visibly uncomfortable and asked her to stop, and the clip has been widely criticized. Many viewers have argued that putting guests on the spot became a recurring feature of Ellen's interview style. Others have also pointed to her friendships off-camera, most notably her well-documented and much-discussed friendship with former President George W. Bush, whom the two were photographed with at an NFL game. That surprised many people, given Bush's opposition to same-sex marriage and LGBTQ+ rights during his presidency.
But this is what happens when you're a wealthy elite that's pretty disconnected from the realities of regular people. George W. Bush started an illegal war that killed hundreds of thousands of Iraqi civilians needlessly. He did many things, including basically leave New Orleans to die, and that is the city that I think Ellen DeGeneres is from, so she should maybe have some reflection on that fact. And this is in a lot of ways, the derangement of the Donald Trump era, where we look back on everything with rose-colored glasses, when if you just have some sort of perspective taking, you can realize that the Bush administration days and those times when he spurred a recession and again led us into an illegal war, those were some pretty dark times, even though he may seem very folksy and like a nicer guy when you have a one-on-one interaction with him than the clammy hands Donald Trump.
Exactly. I don't think I even originally saw it until she responded, but my biggest issue with it is her response to the criticism, because she's not, in my view, responding to what people were actually concerned about. She has created a straw man that is easy to defeat. It's easy to tie into her brand of let's all dance and be happy and everything. People are not saying don't sit next to people who disagree with you. It's not about thoughts or beliefs, it's about actions.
And whenever people discuss Ellen today, there are two names that almost always come up. One of them is Steven Twitch Boss.
Twitch was the DJ who replaced DJ Tony on The Ellen Show, and he was also a So You Think You Can Dance alumni. In December of 2022, Twitch was found unalive in a hotel room not far from his residence. It was revealed that Twitch took his own life due to a self-inflicted wound to the head. When Twitch's mother found out that her son had passed away, she was immediately suspicious and believed that someone had harmed him. Twitch's wife, family, family and friends all shared that they were not aware that he was struggling emotionally, that he had been depressed, that he was having thoughts of taking his own life. No one had any clue. The family was not experiencing any kind of financial hardships. They had children together. They were in a loving marriage, according to his wife. An autopsy and toxicology revealed that he did not have anything in his system, nor was any kind of foul play thought to be in question. I believe the theory that Ellen had something to do with his passing perhaps comes from the toxic work environment that Ellen cultivated that might have weighed on Twitch harder than others. And being in a hostile work environment will cause anyone to question their worth. I do have a theory about Twitch's passing, and it more coincides with potentially emotional distress caused by the 7M dance cult that he and his wife were involved in, but that's kind of a whole other story for a whole other day. A few months after Twitch passed away,
Ellen's former partner, actress Anne Hesh, whom she dated from 1997 to 2000, is another name that comes up. Their relationship was often described as turbulent, and Hesh later spoke publicly about the emotional toll of its end. On August 5th, 2022, Hesh was driving in a Los Angeles neighborhood when her car crashed into a house at high speed, causing a serious fire that made rescue difficult.
I'm out of there.
While all this was going on, they couldn't get to that car. They actually had to call in heavy rescue. That's what you see right there. They hooked up cables to that car, pulled it out. It's actually in that driveway. And then the driver, well, LA City Fire Department, their paramedics pulled that driver from that vehicle. We have tape of that, and then basically had him on a gurney. We weren't sure what the situation was there on his condition, but then as he made his way over to the ambulance, you see it right there. He jumps up out of that gurney. It was horrific, scary for a moment for everybody watching. And then the fire department, well, they had to sedate him and take him to the hospital. Right now, though, the structure is still standing. No other victims inside that home. But again, this happening out here in Palms this afternoon. Crazy thing to see for sure.
Heche was taken to the hospital, where she later fell into a coma and was determined to have no brain activity. On August 11th, 2022, at 53, she passed away, leaving behind 2 sons. Investigators attributed the crash to the circumstances of the accident itself. As with many high-profile deaths, various online theories circulated afterward, but there's no evidence supporting them, and it's important to treat them as unfounded speculation rather than fact. What's not in dispute is that her death was a tragedy for the people who loved her.